Yeah.
Money, follow the money.
Agreed.
Gruber, good talking to you, my friend.
Money.
See you tomorrow.
Thank
See
you.
tomorrow. I got some bad news to give to the folks right now. It's the 4 o'clock markets got hit hard. Dow down 642, still settling up. Nasdaq a little less, is 210, 220. That's around 88, but it's a little less than that right there. Both of them got hit pretty hard. S&P got hit pretty hard. Gold down $73. Not good. Only good news I've seen in this whole thing right here. Oil staying under $60 a barrel. That's one little piece of good news. If you jump over to the crypto world, Bitcoin, don't look, 91,700. Feels like just last month it was 126,000. Oh, that's right, it was just last month, 126,000. Wow, major meltdown across. This is what's called a bloodletting in Wall Street terms. Just money piling out, money that's been earned at much lower numbers. They're all taking profits. They're all getting scared. They're all running from the hills. J. Paul Getty said, buy when there's blood in the streets, and there's Bitcoin blood in the streets, my friends. So we will be looking for a spot to buy a little Bitcoin in the next couple of days. My first guest often finds himself in some dangerous positions, to say the least, as he did this past weekend. We told you about it, Mexico City, where a large protest was held against President Sheinbaum by a majority of Gen Z's, young people, who want the escalating violence from the cartels and increased criminal activities across the country to stop. Let's bring in Oscar El Blue Ramirez to find out what happened. Oscar, before we get to you, this protest ended up becoming violent. You told us it was going to be a lot. I didn't expect what I saw over the weekend. Let's take a look at this real quick. Watch. All right, that's Oscar right there. I guess some tear gas, but I saw some video over the weekend, Oscar. It was a massive, massive rally, and they pushed right up to the presidential palace, didn't they?
Yes, the rally started right behind me, right here, Eric. This is all metal, metal barricades. This political party, these leftist political parties that they talk about, barricades, and they talk about walls, that they're inhuman. They're the ones that they were putting to protect this place. And from here it started, thousands of people moving forward into the governmental palace, where they also gated all, and they put metal plates around the whole, the governmental palace. Thousands of people demanding that this is a narco government, that this is a narco president. And it ended up in this, as you see on the screen. This was actual video of us in the front line getting multiple times tear gas and multiple times with toxic gas, going at it with the confrontation with the police. There was agitators, there was infiltrated people in the front lines confrontating with the police and the government. But the sad thing about this that I saw, that it was really critical, it is the incompetence of the police of how to de-escalate this situation, as they were going one-on-one with the people with rocks, and also throwing petardos, and also throwing these kind of explosives into the population, arresting a lot of these young kids, beating them up. I saw one of the kids that it was beat up by like 10 people. I saw another woman that it was dragged to the floor as she was being arrested. Apparently that she was being agitated, just saying and yelling, "Free Carlos Manzo," that is the mayor that got assassinated in Uruapan. Thousands of people yelling that they want to stop this narco government, want to stop this narco president. That was the scream. That was basically what they were saying to the population, that they don't want to live this level of violence anymore, Eric.
Well, Oscar, so these are very young people, and they I think they were saying, what's this nonsense that it's illegal to prosecute the cartels? Have the cartels become so strong, so powerful, that they're actually the de facto government in Mexico?
Yes, and this is, it increased, Eric. It increased because of the 4 years of Joe Biden. Joe Biden opened up the floodgates to the United States of America. The level of trafficking was, a multi-billion business that created this, funneling the money to the cartels, and they grew 2 times bigger on technology, on territory. And one of the things that they grew is on the power of the municipal cities. They started putting their own mayors in power. This is one of the reasons why the former mayor of Uruapan, Carlos Manzo, that it was actually fighting the cartels, got assassinated, because he was actually fighting them and confronting them. And he was against the whole narrative of them having power over the citizens and over the populations. This are the people, as I have told you before, Eric, they are completely sick and tired of this insecurity issues. And the majority of these young kids, they were saying, you know what, we are being recruited by the cartels. Why we have to migrate out of our country if we have a beautiful country? Why we have to leave our country if we can be prosperous in our country? Why we have to do exactly what you guys did in the past, that you had to migrate to the north and try to look for a better future in the north where we can have a better future here. So Generation C putting an example to a lot of the population that they are sick and tired also about this level of violence and increase of violence. And a lot of them, Eric, just lastly, a lot of them that were talking about, saying about Marco Rubio, talking about Trump also, that they need him to push the government to clean this mess up because it is a complete mess.
So here's the odd thing. So Sheinbaum comes out, right, and she addresses this, but she says, we condemn this protest, what's being protested. Yet, has she been aggressively condemning the cartel violence, escalating violence, and or forget condemning it, doing something about it?
Absolutely not. And she also said that she was condemning the people that they were aggressors to the police officers. Apparently, she hasn't seen the videos, and it is hard for her to just block this information because it was international media. Not only people got aggressively hit, but also the international media was aggressively hit by police officers. She cannot block this. It's all over the world, Eric. It is all over every single place. The Mexican people needed to do this. I was hit with a tear gas bomb, and it pulled me back all the way to the middle crowd. And I was sitting down, and two Gen Z young kids try to help me and clean out my face. And I told the kids, this is not the way that we need to handle things. And they told me, you have done your job defending your country. Let us now defend our way. This is the only way that the world is going to listen to us if we make a world statement that we're living under a narco government.
Now, Oscar, this is the only time change ever happens in these type of governments, when the young people generally rise up. We talked to a lot of Iranian people who are so tired of what's going on in Iran, but not until young people rise up and say enough is enough, we want change, you get change. Is this a one-off, or are there more protests planned? And will Sheinbaum get the message and maybe even step aside?
Well, the thing is that she's under a lot of pressure. She's saying that she was trying to denigrate and trying to decrease this protest and trying to say that these were bots. And now they have completely shut her mouth. Another protest that is going to be on the 20th of November. So Gen Z is actually pressuring, and they're not going to go to the governmental palace. They're going to go to Congress. They're going to go to different locations where they are going to exercise the right. Because a lot of these people, Eric, get to know it's not only about the cartel violence. It's about the extortion, the decapitations, the way of life that we are living right here. And there's no future for the young generations. So there's no way this is going to be growing. And the assassination of Carlos Manzo, it was the number one thing that lit up the fire for the people lift up their voice, and also to the congressmen and the senators that they're conservative and the right wing have the courage and have the audacity now to stand up to say, we are tired of this.
So, Oscar, you guys lost 3 different lawmakers, right? You lost 3 in the last few months. Has anyone been held accountable for any of those yet?
Well, they have found guilty parts, and they have only found, who was involved just as a third party. But we already know who is the actual, who actually assassinated Carlos Manzo. That is the organized crime of the cartel located. She already sent an operation into Uruapan. That is a copy paste of what Obrador, the past, president, that is her teacher, did exactly in Michoacan. That is a failed strategy. It's only to safeguard the locations. But if you already know who's the guilty part, if you already know who is the number one problem, what is the number one problem in the country, why don't you go after them? And this basically tells you that her statement that it was released just a few weeks ago saying it is illegal to go against the war against the cartels, it basically tells you that she is not going to find the guilty part. She's not going to go after the number one, solution that is eradicating and eliminating this problem, Eric.
So where does it go, Oscar? We're sitting here watching. We're watching you. We've seen you threatened by the cartels. We've seen you try. We've tried to get help for you. It gets worse and worse. We've seen now 3 lawmakers assassinated in the last few months. We've seen now a protest, young people protesting at the presidential palace. Where does it go from here? And how do you ensure that it's not just a one-off and people get their moment to complain and protest, and then they go home and start living under the duress and threats of the cartels, because they don't seem to be affected by any of this?
We keep pushing, Eric, until our last breath. Until our heart stops pounding, we keep pushing. That's the only way that we're going to resolve this. The Mexican people are sick and tired. Myself, as a journalist, I'm sick and tired. We keep pushing until our last breath. We are not going to back off. Mexico is the number 3 in the world for assassinations towards journalists. Every single journalist that it was on Saturday. They are being attacked by the police, even when they were hurt in their ankles, like myself, hit with a petardo in the chest. A lot of journalists, they were hit in the rocks in their heads. We continue to push forward because we are sick and tired. And if these young kids are putting the example to lead forward and to say, we are not going to have this anymore, the whole country is upset, Eric. There were more than almost close to 80 cities nationwide protesting against this narco government. And if everybody, and even young kids, are saying narco president, narco government, it leads us to say, we still have hope that we can fix this problem.
Really good reporting, Oscar. But as usual, I tell you this every time, please be safe. Please take care of yourself. I mean, it's amazing what you're doing, but nothing is worth risking you or your family's lives. And you do, and you really do, based on what that godforsaken place is with those cartels. Just please be careful. Maybe next time you come on, we'll grab one of these young protesters and see. Let's hear maybe from them, and we'll do it on the show. Oscar, thank you. El Blue, thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. Always for the invitation.
Mm-hmm. Stay safe, my friend. All right, folks, it's the one time a year that Birch Gold Group gives you free gold. They give away free gold with every qualifying purchase. That's right. For Black Friday, when you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold, Birch Gold will send you free gold to your home for every $20,000 purchase. Look, gold started this year around $2,600 an ounce. It's still over $4,000 an ounce, even through October. Why? Well, there's reasons why. Global uncertainty. 2025 has been defined by trade wars. Central banks are pulling from their U.S. dollar reserves as a global reserve currency, and military tension continues to build. Gold thrives in times of uncertainty, and if you're looking to diversify your savings, Birch Gold Group can help you. Plus, now through November 30th, why not? Do it now. Get free gold with a qualifying purchase. Just text the word America to 989898. Again, America to 989898 to claim your eligibility and for a free info kit on gold. But your opportunity for free gold with purchase ends on November 30th. You don't have much time, guys. You have 13 days left. So don't wait. Text America to 989898 for full details. All righty, this show's exploding. I've been telling you about it. Patrick Bet-David came on the show. Guy's so smart, so brilliant, but his past is what's really fascinating. And that's what we do with The Edge. We dig into guys who've become successful, but we want to find out what made them become successful when they were down. Everyone has a downturn. What was it that inspired them to get back up? Listen to a little bite of PBD.
I joined the Army. I'm in boot camp. We get into a bad fight in the laundromat at our base, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Drill sergeant brings me out, sits me down and says, here's a phone. You can have an hour to call anybody you want to call. I call my sister, I call my friends, I call my family. Everybody tells me, what are you doing? Get out, come out. We're going to have a good time. You don't need to stay there. Everyone's asking about you.
Did you know that? An Iranian Christian living in Iran comes over here, joins the Army. Folks, this guy's really fascinating. But you got to subscribe. Hit that, your phone, your camera right there on that QR code. Give you a little yellow button. You press that, automatic subscribes. Never charge you a thing, ever. Don't use it for marketing. We just use that to tell the algorithm, tell YouTube that we're growing, and we are. 5,000 strong since we started 60 days ago. Top 0.1% of all new YouTube shows because of you. Thank you for, by the way, youtube.com/@EricBowlingTheEdge. youtube.com/@EricBowlingTheEdge. Do it. Appreciate you. Thank you for your subscription. It means a lot to me, and it tells YouTube you're on board. We'll be right back.